All right, let's do. I'm gonna do all three maps just cause. Just gonna do it all in one go. So yeah, pretty much just not much for me to say. Except Jazz says hi. He messaged me that when I was. No, he knew I was doing it. Either way, one thing I'll quickly explain is when you're just playing comp, you're obviously gonna get double flex support backlines a lot. I mean, enemy team. But a thing you have to be very careful about is how much peel you're gonna get as a support yourself. When your other support is Ana, yeah, she can peel you by like healing you and stuff like that. But like outside of getting heals or possibly a nade, maybe a sleep dart, you're probably not gonna get very much. A lot of Anas will just save that for themselves. Like, if I'm playing Ana, I usually will save nade and sleep dart for myself unless I am able to use it as an opportunity to get anti-nade on the enemy or a good sleep dart that'll get a kill. But so just because you're playing double flex support backlines, it's a lot harder to get the peel that you would get out of like a Brig or a Lucio that would just more naturally be able to pick up and just help you out. In case, so just be careful when you're playing a lot of like say Baptiste-Ana comps. They do happen all the fucking time when I'm playing Bap or Ana. I get it. I'll get, especially when I'm playing Bap. When I play Bap, I get fucking time, and it honestly pisses me off because I know Ana's a really good support, but just Baptiste and Ana synergy isn't the best. They're good individual characters, which means backline is fine, but you just have to be careful because just they don't have very much synergy other than the fact that they both just do a good amount of damage. Kiri is a little different for that because she can like TP and do other supports, so she's a lot better at peel, which is why she gets played in double flex support comps a lot with like say Ana Kiriko, stuff like that, because she can peel fairly well. It's not the same as like a Brig or a Lucio, but you know, good. Another thing is we're going to be looking at the enemy team, deciding who like your threats are. A lot of the threats for like flex supports in general will just be like people with a lot of move, because flex supports are going to be in a spot where they usually going to be harder for them to get dove without like a full. It's either A, you have to be scared of the full commitment, which you should always be scared of no matter what character you are at any time. You never know when your enemies are going to full commit on you. But especially for like flex supports, because you're going to be like a target a lot of the time, because usually you're going to be the main healer. So you also have to be ready for what enemies are going to be regularly adding pressure to you. Venture, of course, is going to be the number one, I think, on this team. They're definitely going to be adding a fuck ton of pressure to you. They're just going to be diving you constantly. I almost expect that to be happening unless they're just on your Ana the whole game instead of you, or they're on your DPS for some reason. I expect that this Venture at some point will dive you. Sojourn can be a little risky if you want to. Don't peek her too much because a railgun will just shoot you. It's same with like all other hit scans. Don't peek them too much unless you know you can win the 1v1, or you know your tank is going to tank a majority of the damage anyways. So just try not to peek them too often because they'll just railgun you in the head and then you just randomly shot and then you're dead. It just happens. Arissa, as long as you stay out of her range, just be careful of her spear. You'll see her when she's coming at you. Arissa isn't fast enough and she doesn't have any speed. So you're not really worried about her running up on you, unless you're in a position where she can run up on you. Then you got to be a little more scared. But like, stay behind your tank. Usually won't get run up on by an Orisa. By a dive tank, yes, for sure you will get run up on. Moira, unless she's a flank warrior, you don't gotta be worried. Kiriko, probably not, unless she's a flank. Both of these supports will just randomly have players that flank, so just be careful with those characters. Either way, flank support, you're pretty much just constantly scared of who's gonna you at all times. With the case of a backline of Ana, Ashe, and like Ana and Ashe with you, you don't have that much protection. So you kind of have to keep each other alive and just really, really have anyone to protect you. Individually, you don't have like a Brig who could stop the flanker thing. So you guys got to work with each other to stop the flankers. Luckily, Cass and Hog are pretty good against flankers. Hog isn't that good against Orisa though, so we'll see. Cass is very good against pretty much every character in the video game. So just my recommendation first, right off the bat, is stick with your team as much as you can. You're sit with your Ana, your Ashe, or your Cass, at least one of them. Never sit next to the Roadhog because the Roadhog will just get run up by an Orisa at any time, or just by any brawl tank. You never want to sit next to a Hog unless, like, really sitting on. I think I would say I think that's really not a good thing, Coach. I'm just to say I don't know a lot of the situations. I think I kind of explained it in the DM, but God fucking damn it, I hate this game. Okay, well I'm gonna have to. I don't even know if the clip will come through properly. I hope it does. My computer just eventually kills itself every once in a while, so I have to restart it. I'm really hoping my voice gets recorded because I said a lot of things that I do not want to lose. So either way, I'm just gonna cut to the actual video now. I hate it when that fucking happens. Well, anyways, where was I? I'm gonna get a message from Mason at any point, by the way, because yeah, he's just trying to fuck with me, and I mean it over. Either way, so you'll see, I put this at 10 seconds so it's easier to skip around. Either way, okay, as I was saying, RN didn't even get started yet. Continuing my little rant sesh, which apparently I talked for 5 minutes. I also didn't know that my mic wasn't getting picked up perfectly, so I will put my mic a little closer to my mouth. Hopefully it'll make it record a little better. Either way, yes, I just had to restart my computer, which fucking sucks. Every once in a while, I don't know if you saw, my FPS was literally at like 7 FPS, which is just hilariously bad. Also, my mouse isn't getting recorded. Why is that? Why can't I see my mouse? Okay. There we go. Why the fuck was I not able to see my mouse? I'm gonna do this just to make sure. Yeah, there we go. If I'm pointing at something, you can actually see it now. Thank God. Where was I? I was talking about when you're playing with tanks. I kind of messaged this a little bit when I was talking about like the positioning stuff, like the things I just kind of brought up in the one paragraph that I messaged. But when you're playing as Baptiste, you always want to stay one step behind your tank. And this is also true for Hog, but the thing about Hog is Hog will sometimes kind of just sit on corners like this and just like peek out and hook. In that case, yeah, you're fine, like sitting on the corner with him, trying to help out with that kill. But if he's walking up, he's walking all the way up, and you say your Hog's like right here, trying to take this space, trying to walk into here, the thing is you can do is Baptiste, you can sit back up here, you can even like maybe play off this high ground if there's no one peeking over there, or you could just use it as cover, sit like right here, cover on the right side, or cover on the left if you need it. So like stuff like that, little power position, exactly what Baptiste is. Jump onto this high ground. I would recommend the high ground. This high ground's really fucking good for Bap. I use it all the time when I'm playing on this map as him. I don't even know why I'm flying over there for. Either way, so just be careful of the Orisa walking on you. And I'm actually finally gonna start the actual VOD review now. Don't get split from the team. This is the thing that happens a lot as a flex support, is you will get split from the team on accident. It's like, it's not on purpose on either side, you know. But your team just starts walking away with you, and sometimes when you're too busy healing, you don't even notice that your team just walked away, and you get fully rotated out. If the enemies knew what was happening right now, they can see your heals right now. Your entire team is over here. They can see your entire team being right over here. You can even see me on a cross. They can see both DPS. If Orisa was smart, he would just fucking spin and just walk on you. There's like nothing you can do. In Immort, you can just hope that your team keeps you up in time. But if their team is good, which they aren't because you can tell how weird they're playing as well, they would be on you in an instant. So just be very careful about your team moving in one direction without you. I get caught out all the time. I'm sure you've gotten caught out a couple times as well. It happens. It's not really your fault. You're just playing how you would expect your team to play, and sometimes that's just impossible to do on support. People just have such random playstyles. You never know. People are just weird to play with. Yeah. You ended up getting lucky, and they didn't rotate back to you. And I also saw you did end up rotating towards them, walking around, which is good. So you actually have good habits there about following your team. Another thing is you can shoot your gun a little more. You have yet to like see an enemy on your screen. You can like jiggle, peek out, and shoot. I know I said like, oh, be careful when peeking them and stuff like that. Don't get javelined by, don't get speared by an Orisa, or don't get shot by a Sojourn. But like, jiggle, peek corner. You can literally just like walk left, shoot him one burst, go back to the right. Like you don't need to constantly heal. Hog realistically is not gonna die off this HP. We have both your cooldowns. I wouldn't peek now based on your HP, but I'm just saying in general, you can just peek a little more and shoot a little bit. Don't have to be scared. Also, your Ana is just straight up missing heals on you there. Oh no, okay. She missed one though. The team just kind of rotated. That's exactly those shots I was saying be scared of. Your Ana heals here. Ana's... No, she just... the Orisa finally decided to walk on you guys because they realized the Hog was walking away from the back line. Okay, that's kind of the stuff. Your team did not make a play there, by the way. Holy fuck, what were you supposed to do? No one made a play. You just kind of sat there. That's another thing I think about flex support. Is sometimes you can't make those plays without like an anti-nade or like a pick of your own. Can't. But that's also what makes flex support so good is actually not that you can't. What am I talking about? You definitely can. It's just very hard to do so. And in your situation, I don't really know what you could have done other than just like shoot at them a little more and hopefully find a pick on one of their DPS. But oh my fucking god, your DPS didn't push during the video game. So well, I played a video. My recommendation first, try to no. I just hear myself talk all of a sudden. That scared me. I don't really know. Your team just didn't push shit. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm blaming your team for you. Don't you worry. Also, be careful jumping like that. It's fun. I do it all the fucking time. It is a horrible habit, though. Like I said, they have a sojourn. That is how you get your head taken off. You're going to get your head taken off if you don't doing shit like that. Why? What am I? First place. There we go. This fucking keyboard I have to hold a function key to press the F keys, and that's like what my keys are to switch POVs. So, oh my god. I like this spot though. It kind of makes it very hard for them. They have to full commit if they want to shoot you through the door, which is very good. Your Ana just peeks the Sojourn and dies. Funny how that works. So we got window here. Okay, you still have yet to like shoot the enemy. I need you to shoot the enemy. I imagine you probably know about like Baptiste tempo stuff. This is like it's called tempo stuff. I don't really know why it's called that. Shoot, heal, shoot, heal, shoot, heal, shoot, heal. Pretty much all the time. It doesn't lower your healing amount by any little bits. It doesn't lower it at all, but you get a couple shots in there. And that's is what matters, because your stat output is what gives you allowed to get your ultimate quicker, possibly allows to open up for possible kills if you do enough damage or your teammates do enough damage to them. It just opens up so much more just by doing a little bit of damage here or there. Worst case scenario, just shoot the tank and just farm stats, because that is just so useful for old game. And you almost haven't shot your gun. Nice, Immort. I love that. A little bit of a snipe. Probably wasn't necessary because your teammate's gonna die either way, but idea itself, good Immort. But I mean, just because you died, cooldown doesn't matter. So, but yeah, good Immort, good Immort. I like it. We got a number Samir now. I hope your team can walk out. In this case, I want to start thinking about using your ultimate. By the way, I didn't say my game's in Korean right now. Don't mind that. Don't mind that. I just get bored sometimes and change the language. And I'm trying to, take the power from the Korean players, Korean language. Either way. Okay, so right now, a big issue I always had for Baptiste, and even for characters in general, I'm pretty bad at it, is using my ultimate. And Baptiste ult is incredibly easy to use. Just fucking place it, and you shoot at the enemy, or you shoot at your team. Either way, you're gonna get value, So just, I think the hardest way to use Baptiste ult is position yourself to a good position where you can use it for as much value as possible. It is a pretty easy ultimate to use. By the way, you did not need to burst there. Oh my god, it loading there just made me thought it was about to crash. I really hope it doesn't crash today. This fucking stream. By the way, you do not need to burst there. If he's behind cover like this, pretty much always save your shift. It's a 14-second cooldown. It is a good burst heal. But that's exactly why you want to have it on cooldown at all times. Especially when they're just peeking behind a corner, don't do that. Don't just burst like that. I like this window. Helps your team walk up. If she wants to. Where'd the Sojourn thing come from? Sojourn shot it from back there. Was able to find the Venture's in. Also, I knew the Venture would peek at some point. Yeah. I like the window a lot, but your Orisa might be the most scared tank ever. Like, holy crap. And we got Nano out. There's a Venture ult behind you. I hate to break this to you. Do you have headphones? I'm sorry. But we see Venture there. We see them right there. And all of a sudden we hear Venture ult. The only spot they're gonna come from is either the side where you'll see them coming or the flank. Sorry, Andy, but sometimes, bro, you just got shit on for no reason at all. Oh my god. Alright. Happens to the best of us. I say that like you can't find a million scenarios where I'm stupid. Okay. Team wants to take a little space here. Okay. Another thing you can do on flex support is you actually take off angles pretty often, especially because you're running a double flex comp. When you're running with an Ana on Baptiste, well, I said before, oh, it's not that good. What it does open is it allows you to take different angles. It allows you or the Ana to take different. Usually, you probably want the Ana to take the different angles because she can't rotate as quick as Baptiste because Baptiste actually has a little bit of mobility with his jump. But like, Ana herself should be on those exciting angles, but she's not going to. This is a random Ana you're finding in comp. She's not going to. What you can do though, as Baptiste, is you can take off angles. Play like almost like a DPS that can support for your team. So in this case, walk out and hold out in this direction. You can see the Sojo in there, or you can jump up here and play with your team. Or you can just play back here. If the team walks on you, use your cooldowns and just... It's if their team just walks you on it. So yeah, no. So literally just your cooldowns and leave. But yeah, super strong. Just take off angles. Don't do super hard flanks. Don't like flank, just take off angle. This situation, like, say like I'm saying, walking this way, their enemy team doesn't really have control of it because they're, you know, fighting over here. Some of them are fighting very deep back in here. You can see her finally walking out. You can see Orisa walking left here a little. Like, you know this controls pretty much just your guy. So just take this angle over here, maybe jump onto this thing right up here, possibly play in this back left area if you need to cover. You have all those options, and instead of just walking through the choke with everyone else, where, well, in this case, the Venture's already on top of you. Oh, he almost just fucking destroyed them. That would have been sick. But yeah. You didn't, it's like, it's one of the things, you don't really have to play with your Ana or you're with your team all the time because you're playing this double flex comp. I like how you know the Moira's back there. Oh, you can hear her now. That'll help you. You can set an inward there. Wouldn't mind that. Like, okay, okay, your DPS are both going back. Just ignore them. Ana is their problem. Just help your... Oh, perfect. I like it. Exactly. Moira's still in flank. Nice, nice. Okay, Orisa inted. You more that? Oh my beautiful. Beautiful! I love that. Okay. This is why communication is super important, because stuff like Moira being on the flank is exactly when the Orisa does not want to push. Orisa pushed it. It happens. It happens. It keeps happening. Oh my god, I hate it. I've played so many games of flex support now, and it just constantly happens. Tank pushes in while you're getting flanked, and you're trying to peel for someone, and the tank just pushes in and then dies. It pisses me off. They get pissed off because, like, dude, no one's helping me. I didn't even get an immort or shit. Like, nothing. And they just die. And it pisses me off. It pisses them off. It's just a lose-lose situation because there's no comms. It sucks. I hate it. Yeah, be careful of your tank just doing that. Luckily, it worked out perfectly. It was a great immort, beautiful immort by you. And I love the peel that you did. I like how you played this a lot. I don't like how your tank played it. But at the same time, it could... I don't know. It's just so hard to play with no communication. Unless it's a 5-stack and I just don't know who these people are. But I don't know. Could be. Either way, doesn't matter. In that case, then work on your communication. Going in for the touch. Give ults here. That is okay. Okay, I don't... Alright, let's see. Your shift here. Yeah, I feel like I've already done this, but calling them by the cooldowns of the PC controls, don't mind me. Okay, we took a lot of damage. Took about, okay, good burst. Another thing to be careful about using your regen burst like that is the fact that your Ana has sightline. You have sightline on you? Okay, she's supposed to have sightline on you. I don't know why your Ana's still sitting there. She probably needs to rotate. Because, like, this is literally, look at all the doorways that she could just get flanked from, and she is not even looking. By the way, for Ana, first of all, I don't even like playing Ana on this map. I think this is not a very good Ana map for at least this point especially. There are probably some other points a lot better for her. But just playing her on this map, I think if you're gonna play this map, stick to Baptiste or Kiriko. I don't know why I keep saying Kiriko even though you're mostly saying Baptiste and Ana. So just stick to Baptiste for this map. I think overall, unless your team's literally playing like super hard dive, in that case I would recommend picking up Kiriko. Kiriko's just very good to have in the pocket, because you don't need to practice her that often, I'm just gonna be honest. You just kind of heal bot as her, and then Suzu when teammates are low, it's pretty easy. Kiriko's a very easy character. But yeah, I'd pick up Kiriko if you're wanting to be a little better at flex support, because she's not that hard to learn, and she's always useful. She's always useful. She's so broken. So yeah. In general, don't really recommend playing Ana on this map because there's not really great sidelines for her to play a lot of the time. Because now she's trying to do this one to have like a long range sightline like an Ana would want, but like she either has that or like this side or like maybe she can set up back here. It's like it's either all that or like it's like she has to set up this far back, which means you're on low ground to the point. Your Orisa can't push in if the Orisa wants to. it's like she really is forced to just play a position like this on the side or like this, which really sucks because you could get pushed from this angle, you can get pushed from all these different doors especially now that there's a third. Like, it's just, I think if you are playing Ana though, best bet is this doorway. There's this way or possibly the down area you go from, but worst case scenario, you can kite towards the mega, you can kite towards point, or you can kite back this way towards spawn and just try to play back if you are happening to play on this map. But overall, I would just play Baptiste because Baptiste has a lot more ability to just jump up to this high ground up here and just like shoot them. You can fall off down here, you can fall off to the bottom down here, jump out. A little room. Okay. I guess that's, I didn't think about it, but that's just actually just a room of green light. Anyways. Yeah, no, you can jump back up onto the high ground up here. You can jump all the way up here with a full charge as well. Yeah, you should definitely be able to. Or, you know, you can play the same angles as the Ana and have the full access of what Ana would have with those. So just stuff like that. Baptiste is just a little more flexible for this point of the map, yeah, but it kind of works like that for this map. Okay. You're just kind of sitting inside a Sojourn there. Just leave. I know your window's set up. Just walk around. What I'd recommend here is just walk around this way, jump up this way. You can either use window to heal your team from like the backwards view, or you can swap back in this way and then you literally just stood inside of Sojourn. Even with your immort up, that's Sojourny. It will pop your immort. Will die when you're that HP. But yeah, good window. I like what you did with the window. I think, did your team win the fight? They better have. Thank fuck. Because even if you died, it was still a good window, I would say, overall. And, because it's pretty much impossible for that enemy team to push up to your team. There's just too much damage and everything. Oh my god, I never really thought I haven't, like, played on this map. I've only played on this map, like, once. It's so weird. Okay. Okay, now that this is open, this is an angle they have on you, by the way. Be careful. You're sitting right here. This is an angle now. So just keep that in mind from now on. I know they're on the doorway. I would say if you wanted to tuck a little bit more to the right, just have a little bit less angle, or I would even come with the rest of your team, like all the way over here. Think about a strength. Baptiste on this map, for this point of the point, this one's a little better for Ana, because Ana can actually sit back here and be a little stronger, but then still have areas to walk up on. Baptiste loves this point. I love this point on Baptiste because you can just jump down, contest point, jump back up, and just play on the high ground. You can jump, you can play. They're cool. I like this a lot. You can play all the way back here and still have enough range to be able to help out your team. You can, again, you can just jump up and down constantly. It's so good. It makes you so fucking slick. Very strong. I love Baptiste on this point. But yeah, definitely probably just pay attention to where the enemies can shoot you now that the map is different. But yeah, at this point, I do like the spot overall if they didn't have an angle on you. But like, say, in the old version of the map, this spot is a lot stronger. But you do have to be careful about them just walking out. Your Orisa not walking towards you, but instead walking to the rest of the team. Which, in that case, I probably would sit there because that's the rest of your team. But if they just walk out and then just turn right onto you, and you kind of get walked onto there, if your Orisa kite's left, you're kind of fucked. So again, it's like, you have to be careful about which way your team rotates. Luckily, they all rotated towards you, and it actually ended up, that angle came into play. The Venture just flanked you. Oh my, you're just playing with death right there, walking that way. I like that you decided to make some space from the Venture, but if a Venture is digging like that and your team is on you, don't walk away like that. They're more almost able to kill you. Venture ult. Alright, that's just Venture ult. You're fine. I'm not going to be mad about that death. Other than the fact that you probably shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. I wish you were kind of Ana on your hit scan. There, your other DPS. I kind of didn't make that very clear. I think I said your position was good for the old version of the map. It would work if the rest of your team was there. Your team wasn't there. Go play with your team, pretty much. Because even though your Orisa did kite you, and it really helped, it kind of just set yourself guys up for a bad situation to be in. Especially when they have Moira ults, they could just walk on your team with Moira ult. They didn't play around Moira ult very well, but you gotta be careful of that. Now for re-pushing this point, I've actually been how the re-pushing will work now that the map's a little bit. This point specifically is very different with that left side. I feel like that left side control is so much stronger now as well. Now that's more open. Like, it's so much easier to push into, I meant to say. So much harder to hold. It's so much stronger for the attackers to be able to push that way. Because I think you want that high ground. That's exactly what you want. And this is another situation where it's like, if you are the second flex support, your other teammates is a main healer, you can take these off angles. You can come up here and shoot at them. If you get, because that Orisa isn't going to walk on you. Only person who can walk on you is the Venture. And as long as you don't see the Venture over here, like, fuck it, you know? Like, make a goddamn play. It's very fun for you. B, like, dude, what the? Like, imagine if it works out. It's sick. And if it doesn't work, a lot of the time, you're gonna have enough space to walk away. You have 2 cooldowns that keep yourself alive. And this is not easy. You can see someone jumping up this. They have to, like, jump up one spot at a time, one spot at a time, one spot at a time. The only person who can get on you is a Sojourn. And with a Sojourn without slide is, like, such an easy kill for a Baptiste. Because you can just throw down your lamp. You could just throw down your lamp for yourself, or you could shift for yourself and just live through their railgun shot, and then just kill them, you know, stuff like that. I know your aim's good enough to be able to to do that as well, so, you know, just do it. Another thing, this is something that Unter taught me a lot, when he was coaching me. If you, for some reason, don't know who Unter is, he is a professional coach. He teaches an OWCS team right now, but you can also pay for his coaching. And, either way, he's coached my Baptiste, like, twice. A big thing he said, and this is something I haven't seen you do either, and it's something I still need to implement more, is lamp droning around a corner, essentially. So just throw down your lamp on this corner, like, say, like, throw it in this corner right here, peek right this way, and just sit still. Just aim. You don't need to worry about your movement at all, because they literally can't kill you unless they swing around and get the immortal. And in that case, you have so much time to just back up and live anyways, and you have your other cooldown, and your teammates will just walk on them as well. It's so strong to be able to do that, because you could just peek an angle, completely stand still, take all this attention on yourself, never die, and do so much damage, because Baptiste, you just do 1,000,000 damage, because you're actually a hit scan DPS with the ability to heal, and an Immort. I like the Immort trio there. That was a very good Immort. Sometimes that just happens, where you hit a doorway or hit a corner. By the way, bullshit little ledges like this will fuck you up. If you somehow hit it against the wall or against this little corner, the lamp will bounce up and you will die, and it pisses off. It's so stupid. Either way, I like that Immort at 10. That's just a little thing. The thing I didn't mention is perks. The perks you picked were the ones I choose. But the thing about Baptiste is you can kind of pick any of the perks and you're fine. The one minor perk, other than the one you didn't pick, I don't think is very strong personally, but it isn't really that bad. It just allows you can heal while you're using your ultimate without actually having to do any healing yourself, which is very useful, because you could just do more damage. It makes your ultimate a little stronger. I personally think the burst of heal after Immort breaks is a little bit stronger, but you can kind of pick either one, it doesn't matter. And same with the major. I like the movement one because that's how I like to play. I love jumping around and stuff like that, and it's very good for movement, and it's nice. Baptiste with movement, awesome, love that. Or you could play the one that gives you more damage output, which people do actually play. It gets rid of the burst on your heal on your cooldown, your regenerative burst. It does get rid of the burst, which is a little bit of a downgrade, but gives you 5 seconds of either healing them with your right click quicker or doing more damage with your left click. Or right trigger, left trigger. Either way, it's so fucking strong if in those 5 seconds, and you can just pop ult, throw that down, and just burst a tank so quick with it. Either way, you have either the one that just allows you to farm stats better with your Mason has to go cast. Either you get to have more movement, which is always amazing as a flex support, or you get to do more stats, which is also always amazing with the flex support. Pap has really strong perks. I'm surprised people don't talk about him. Oh yeah, that's shield there blocking, and you don't have any more unlucky. Try to back up. Hopefully your team fights with you. I thought their Venture was about to just throw. Oh, they almost did. Holy crap. Okay, that's another burst. If they're not critical, and again, they're in a safe angle like this, don't use your burst. Your team is not going to take any damage. Have this entire corner. Even if they take a little more damage, unless they get railgun headshot right now, they're not going to die. You don't need to burst that. You can just use, like, holy fuck, you're so bright. That is I didn't realize how bright the heal was. Either way, just heal with your gun. You don't need to heal that much. It's the same with tanks as well. You don't need to regen burst the tanks like almost ever. Just so you know. Just keep using your left trigger heal. Just because it's strong enough. Just go for directs, of course. Which, I mean, been doing fine. You're healing up, it's been fine. No issues with that at all. Another thing, if I don't mention something, that probably means I think you're doing a good job at that. I'm very bad at giving compliments, I'm not gonna lie, when I'm coaching. So, but yeah, if I don't talk about it, probably a good thing. I like this, push the Venture, good. Don't overpush though, be careful, because they can't just kill you at any time. Nice. Hanzo's just too broken, I guess. Also, speaking of Hanzo fucking pissed me off recently on this map when I was on Baptiste, funnily enough. He just absolutely rolled me. I got headshot over and over again. Nice kill. Your team just rotates in. Nice. You got great picks because their DPS is through. Just huge for you. I like you playing on high ground. That is good. This is another great point for Baptiste. So much high ground for you to jump around on. It's so good. Like, yep, there's that back high ground, of course, right there. The one that you were on before. If you're not getting looked at, very useful. You gotta be careful about some high grounds about getting looked at. Like, the one that you were on before, is you can just get looked at. In that case, you have so much of your team alive that you have plenty of time to be able to off at any time. But if they have, like, a Widow or a Hanzo, never jump type of high ground like this that would just doesn't have any cover. This one's a little better because you actually have a little bit of natural cover with backing up. You can back all the way up to the ramp back here and back up. Or in this case, you can push him with your team. Again, you could just back up, lower the line of sight. The only thing you really have to worry about is someone pushing him from angle right here, which actually does make this high ground a little scarier. But even then, you can say, can kind of line of sight them a little bit. You can kind of fuck with them a little. Or just don't sit in the very center back. I never realized. That is a very scary angle. This is a really good angle to jump onto the hit. Holy shit, this is a really good Baptiste angle. Fuck. Okay, yeah, try this angle on Baptiste. Or maybe even Ana. I think Ana could be pretty good. Because, like, unless the enemy is literally rotating all the way around here, it's going to be very, very hard for you to walk on. Because they have to walk so far off the point. They have to go all the way this way. It gives angles of your entire team. Just so you can, when you can literally just kite to this. Oh, that's actually very strong. Okay, this new map's interesting. Nice, that's a good regen burst. It keeps your team alive, and you don't have to use them. I like to use regen burst almost as a pseudo immort without having to use them. Good immort, by the way. Okay, I thought it was a little more to the right that it wouldn't get. But yeah, if you throw your immort right on this angle right here, just so it perfectly gets covered by this wall, and then they eventually gold can't hit it, would have been a perfect immort. It was a very good one because you kept your team alive. In this case, you're Ana, but either way, if you got it just a little bit more around the corner, but literally perfect. That's just unlucky. I don't think your Ana helped you in the slightest either. Just that even worse for your team. But that doesn't matter. The fact that your Orisa, your team lived through your team lived through that long while down a support is just, and a DPS is just insane. You guys stalled that. Like 10 seconds extra for. Okay, you are tunnel visioning on healing a little too much here. There is an Orisa. There is a possible people just shooting you from that angle right here, and you're kind of just walking out here looking down. You're not even looking at. you have to pay attention to angles that you're not necessarily looking. You have to keep those in mind at all times. A big way I think about it. This is actually something I learned a long time ago from Widowmaker coaching made by Jake Overwatch, who works for like OWCS now. He does like casting and like on the desk and stuff like that. But he has really old coaching videos where he like coaches professional players, Overwatch League players, like old Overwatch. I'm trying to see if I can find it. I still recommend all his videos, all of them, because they just have good information, even though they're all literally in Overwatch 1. He's literally just Jake_OW. There we go. It's literally just Jake_OW. He has this really old playlists and old videos, stuff like that. He doesn't really post anymore. But he has literally like Coach Jake, these 14 videos right here. He talks about like he has all these videos. Sparkle, Genji coaching. This one is Sigma, Winston, Widowmaker. This is the one that I was talking about. DK is good as Zarya, Mercy, whatever. Just like all these different characters. I recommend like all these. They're all super good. I don't even know he made this. Coaching a platinum racer player. Either way, he has all these videos. Doesn't have every character, but here you go. You know, stuff like that. He just does coaching for literal pros, or in this case, I guess himself. Yeah, he does coaching. So yeah, watch these videos. He's very good. It's only like 14 of them. Very good videos. Really recommend it. I'm not in queue. I don't know why it says bottom left. Either way, Jake_OW. Love his content. Either way, let's go. Either way, what he taught me, I didn't even explain what he did teach me, but what he showed was the Widow thing is like trying to minimize as many angles I can see you as possible. Widowmaker really, really loves when you can see an enemy that cannot flank. In this case, think about it this way. When you're peeking this angle, you have all these sightlines on all this, but you got to think about this angle on the left that can see you peeking. So instead, get a little closer, like get a little further back. Now you all of a sudden, I know this is very, very long. Probably shouldn't on Baptiste, but like, it's like, just by minimizing this angle right here, now they cannot swing you. They have to be on top of you to do damage from this angle to the left. Now that the angle to the right can still see you, which in that case, you can use that cover right here, and now you can pretty much hold the same angle while that angle covered right. Stuff like that is like, you gotta think about angles, like who can see you when you're looking at a different angle? Who can see you? And you got to be pretty much thinking about who can see you at all times. How much space are you like allowing the enemy? And usually it's not a big deal if there's a couple angles looking. Obviously it happened, but like, see, it just happened to you right there. They had an angle on you that you weren't really accounting for, and like you probably should have been in this case of just like thinking about the fact that they can still see you. Instead, when you were like kiting back on the result, I like you were very tunnel vision on focusing with healing and keeping up your team instead of on the Sojourn that is actively going to kill you, which she does. It like you have to think about the angles of which people can be shooting at you at all times, even though you want to support your team, and that's very nice. You do think about supporting your team a lot, which I love for support players. That's one of my favorite things to see. And in my opinion, that's always been a very big difference between DPS and tank players on support. Even if there are just talented players, they just don't think about caring for their team as much as an actual support player does. That's just something I've noticed. And that is true for you too. You care about your team a lot, which is nice, but you do also have to care about yourself just as much, if not more so in some cases. You got to stay alive and stuff like that. Your goal all the time is just to stay alive because you always just put out so much stats. So strong. Anyways. This has been going on for a while. I really got to speed this up. I don't really want to make this an hour long, but I think it's going to be. So, whatever. We're just getting in there. Okay. Let's... Oasis. I like this map a lot for Baptiste. Okay. I'm going to talk about team compositions a little bit. So now we have a Brig on your team. Huge. Because now you have a little more peel, you could be a tiny bit more. You're allowed to be just a little more aggressive. You can peek a couple more angles, take a little more damage, and possibly get dove a little bit because it doesn't matter as much. You have a Brig. Your Brig will keep you up. Well, if she's not stupid. So yeah, try to take a couple more angles. You can be a little bit less. Another thing is they worry about in their team is A, if they're Moira flanks, be worried about them. Brig pretty much never have to be worried about her. She'll be, if she's not stupid, she will be across the map like pretty much the entire game. You'll almost never need to deal with her unless you're pushing her. Venture, of course, always be an issue as a flex support. As a flex support. Venture will always be scary. Be careful of them. Diva will just dive you. You're always going to be that target now, but you do have a Brig. Hopefully that'll help because Brig is absolutely insane. And Sim. Sim is only a little bit scary if she TPs on you, but other than that, probably fine. I think she's more going to be worried about your tank. Her being walked up on in general. But it's just how aggressive is she going to play? Is she just going to make that play where she TPs? Stuff to keep your eye on at all times when playing flex support. And, I mean, and main support too, but like just in general. Because like pretty much when you're a flex support, you're gonna be the target. I think I kind of said that before. You're gonna be the target. You kill the flex support, that pretty much shuts down any possible chance. Because you're gonna be all the healing for your team. You're all the sustain. Unless they literally just have better DPS, that's the whole thing gone. There's another thing is like baiting yourself. I'm not gonna really explain that right now. I'm gonna explain it, but I'm gonna pause to do it. Baiting yourself, essentially, I mean, it's kind of what it is. You're the target. You force yourself to be the target so that their team makes a misplay. Almost setting yourself up right at a range where it seems like it's possible for them to dive it safely, but it isn't. Or you make it seem like it is, yeah, you make it seem like it's a safe dive when your team is ready to peel you at any time. You might die, but in turn, it'll kill their DPS or their supports more so than yours, so it's like trading yourself. You can do that as debate. That used to be very common with really old Zenyatta team comps, because essentially the enemy would want to dive your team's Zenyatta, and the Zenyatta wants to live as long as he can, so you trade Zenyatas. Their team dives your Zenyatta, your team dives their Zenyatta, and you trade them, and just whichever Zen lives longer does more damage, just the better Zenyatta. And if a Zen lives, that's huge. The dive is pretty much just completely successful for you guys. And unsuccessful for their guys, unless you guys also fail to kill one Zen, which would just be hilarious if both teams dove the Zen and both failed. That's just funny as fuck. Either way, that's just how like support was just played. It's just sometimes you bait yourself for certain dives, which you can still do. I wouldn't recommend it very much. I think being alive is a lot more important with Overwatch now than it was back then. It is still important, but like think about it with 5v5 versus 6v6. You are more of a percentage of your team's power. You are 20% of the team's power rather than like whatever the fuck 6v6 divided by 100 is. It's just, even if it's a small increase, that is an increase that matters. Because now you're 20% of the team rather than, I don't know, 16 or so percent, I think, around. Yeah, stuff like that. Just keep that in mind. Life always matters, but baiting is an option, theoretically, especially if your team knows. So your team knows that, like, yeah, I'm going to, like, they're going to dive me here, be ready to peel me. That's the call-outs I make. I'm going to get dove. You could just tell when you're going to get dove. It just happens. You just see it in their eyes sometimes. You know you're getting dove. Make that call sometimes. Say, like, hey, I'm going to get dove. Please help me. Not everyone will listen, but those times that it does listen, it makes your death so much more valuable. Because at least you can sometimes get a trade out of it if you die. It just makes... Sorry, not that it becomes your death becomes more valuable, but, like, there's just more value in general. Your team can punish a play that their team always uses. Sometimes you can get a trade out of it. In this case, your team is just trying to take a little bit of space back as you're waiting for tank. Switch to ram here. Ooh, I wish you immorted that. Oh, there's the one time I wish you immorted. Other than that, I just try to immort there, try to keep your ram up. But it's just, your ram just kind of walked out immediately, no fear. In this case, there's not really much you can do other than just, again, I think you just damage more. This is, I think, been a pretty consistent thing. Just do more damage. I don't know what it is. You're more worried about healing than doing damage, but you don't lower your amount of healing when you're doing damage. Like I said with like heal shoot. Oh my god, my cat just sat on my keys. My bad. My cat just. Hey, right here. Oh, my god. Changed windows for some reason. Okay, we're good now. By the way, do more damage. Shoot your gun more. Like in that case right there, you could shoot the Venture without lowering your healing output. Yeah. Shoot the Venture, shoot the Venture, shoot the Venture. Your Brig's fine, your Brig's fine. Your Brig isn't gonna die, just shoot the Venture. Sometimes, instead of healing your teammate, shoot the enemy. This is a big thing on every flex support character. On support in general. Sometimes you just focus on doing more damage than healing, because the way I think about it, and the way I was taught this at least, I can't remember who taught. I think this was also Jake Overwatch taught me that. But sometimes when you just do the damage, if you just do more damage to the enemy. Oh wait, it was CarQ, I think. Either way, doing damage to heal. No, it was ML7. Okay, doesn't fucking matter. Doing damage to the enemy team and killing them so that, or at least pressuring them out of certain situations so they can't do damage to your team is more valuable than healing a lot of the time. Because healing is good for keeping your team up at all times. Healing is always useful, of course. But if you do damage to that Venture and you kill that Venture, they can't do damage to your team. That isn't worry anymore. You know, like stuff like that. So instead of healing your Brig, even though it did work out for you, instead of healing your Brig, what you could have done is just shoot the Venture, because the Brig wasn't going to die. She still had her shield. She probably has some cooldowns. And worst case scenario, if her shield breaks, then you start healing her, try to keep her up. But you weren't worried about her. Instead, just kill the Venture. Just kill the Venture there. It's just so much more value, and you're not worried about that kill on your Brig anymore, because you're just killing them better. You're killing them faster. Okay? Aggressive window. But their team dropped. This is all point control. Now they have to push back into your window, which is so big. Okay, I like this. Okay. Go for rally for no reason at all. I love that your Brig just wasted support portal for literally no reason. Alright, and now their Venture just threw. Okay. That's one thing they can do for some reason. Alright. You guys committed a lot of ults there, which is unlucky, but I mean they don't have very much ults either. They can a couple as well. So it probably work out ult-wise. We just got Moira ults, which you do need to be a little scared at. Or she just pops it really early and their team can't push in with it. Alright, no, you're good now. Okay, never mind. They just kind of wasted her. I doubt you're ever really going to play Moira, but she is technically a flex support, so I'm going to explain a little bit with Moira ult. Always use it as like an initiation ult, unless you're using it to like keep someone alive. You're like using it as like a defensive ult to keep someone alive. Use it to initiate when your team's going in as much as you can, because doing damage and healing at the exact same time while your team is pushing in is so fucking strong. And that's like the only reason why I think Moira is still a playable character at this point, is because her ultimate is still really strong and she gets her ultimate really fast because she just does stats and that's the entire character. Also, when you're regen bursting like that, only regen burst when they're critical. Again, another one, you probably did not need a regen burst there. I think you got to be careful about how much you're using your cooldown. I did not mean to you got to be careful about how much you're using your cooldowns when you don't need to, and that's especially apparent for your shift. You've been doing very good with immorts. I love your immortalities. Your lamps are great, but your shifts have been a little more to be desired. I think just you don't need to use them as often. You can just actually just heal with your gun a lot. Good immort. I think you don't know, in that case, you don't know how much pressure your cast has there, so I like thinking it's good. Even though the cast definitely wasn't going to die there, you didn't know where the sim was, or whoever the fuck was pressuring him. Don't really know. So it's a good immort there. Sometimes you just have to do that and be scared, and it's okay. So making mistakes is alright, because it saves those times when it wasn't a mistake, and you do save your cast there. Yeah. Unfortunate miss of a lamp, but it was a really good idea. That's a good shift right there. Keeps your venture up. All your venture ended up dying. But it was a trade, though. Instead of your venture just dying for their venture immediately, kept your venture up. That was a really good shift. That is what I like to see. You can take this angle here. you don't have to be sitting so far back. You can peek out and do a little bit of shooting. A way I like to do BAP is I start peeking, I start shooting immediately, right as they're peeking. But then the moment they peek and I start seeing them walk up, I just immediately walk away. But instead, I get a couple shots in, a little bit more ult charge. Even if it is just like 2-3%, that's 2-3%. You're closer to ult than their support if they're on the equal level. In this case, say if their Kiri was at the exact same percentage you're both at like 72, and you peek her out and shoot, and their Kiri doesn't. Their Kiri sits there and sits back and just heals. You're going to get more value. You're going to do more damage. You're going to get more stats out, and you're going to get your ult quicker. Stuff like that, like, you got to think about, even if it is just a little bit, that little bit compiles over time. So just, even if you're peeking, grabbing a couple percent here or there, that couple percent will pick up, and eventually you will have an ult advantage over that enemy's flex support. It's super strong. Ult advantages are pretty much what you always want to have on you. We use window, and we just try to... Team's playing this very strange. I don't really know what your team is doing, but like it's working, so just keep it up, I guess. I like your positioning there because if their team decides to make a play towards you, you have so much area to sit there and you can still pop window and stuff like that. I love that position. I didn't really say that. I like this position you held a lot. Because you tire sightline of the point, which is very important during overtime. And again, you have to be a little bit carried about the left flank, but I'm pretty sure your team was there in that circumstance. They did leave now, so I'm pretty sure your team was there. So either way, good play, good positioning. I like that a lot. And it sets yourself up for a window very well if they do. Also good. Good shit. Very well played. I imagine you guys just win this because there's not that much more time left, so. Now when we're pushing onto this point, obviously your team wants high ground control. Well, they're not going for it though. But your team is supposed to want high ground control because this makes it so much harder to push into the point. Literally at any angle. You just have this access to high ground. Baptiste loves this point for the same exact reason that he loves all those other points. Jump on high ground. God, I love Baptiste. He's one of my favorite characters for that reason alone. You could just jump high ground. It's great. It's awesome. High ground is just yours. And it's awesome. You should use it. But in this case, you do have access to this sneaky little high ground right here, which is a lot safer than you'd think because you could shoot at them from up here. You can kite back here. You have lamp, which if you throw like right about in the center here, it will be like just right in the center of this room, which is so hard to peek unless they're literally like down in this angle specifically. You like can't find it, or they're like they have to be all the way over here just to be able to see the lamp itself to shoot it. Like so strong, and then you can just sit on the edge, not be scared of dying at all. You can throw a lamp right in the center, just sit on this edge, or you can tuck it against a or the wall even, make it even harder to hit. Super strong. They cannot kill that lamp, and you have this entire room of complete invincibility for Baptiste. And if they do dive you, you can tuck to the... A big thing you can think of, I'm not really... This is a very small thing for Baptiste. You throw a lamp on one side of the wall, and then you tuck to the other wall, because that means either they choose to shoot you to do the damage to you, or they have to shoot your lamp, which they will probably choose. And when you're on the other side, that means their crosshair will be as far off of you as possible, meaning when they're turning back to you, harder for them to make that swap, to make that switch back to you. And in that time, you can back off the look while they're breaking your armor. Little stuff like that is, you know, very cool. Why I love it. Yeah, lamp is just a... Oh, it's really fucking annoying. Deal with the enemy. Dies. I bet they did that. Not sure what they're doing. Oh yeah, and you're really good against stuff like that because you gotta be ready to lamp. Okay. What are we lamping? Okay, be ready to lamp is what I was about to say. Be ready to lamp over Mei walls at all times. In this case, your tank was fine because it's Ramatra. You can just block and it's but just be ready to lamp over a wall at any time. Just charge a jump over, lamp it. But also, when you're doing that, be careful that their team is ready for it. If their team's smart, they might expect a BAP to jump over it.
불사장치 주위에 있어. 의무병이 거점에 있다. 그냥 하는 말이야. Kill and miss view. 앞으로 나오시지. 불사장치 배치. 치유 한번 돌려볼게. 불사장치 들어와. 새 사람이 된 기분이지?
놈들을 거점에서 몰아내.
들어갔는데요?
방금 봤어?
아주 발빠르졌네.
포탑을 파괴해.
제가 봐드릴게요.
흉터 하나 없이.
저게 포탑이다. 포탑을 파괴해.
사격 개시. 사격 개시. 걱정 마. 너 아니면 나였다 친구.
이것도 너프의 도시지.
여기로 들어와. 치유 한번 돌려볼게.
전투 준비. 전투 네. A 거점을 수비하십시오.
거점 확보 중이다. 파괴했다. 이야!
용의 징표야.
피했으면 피해봐. 공격받고 있다. 널 엄호하게. 여긴 비행 제한 구역이야. 어딜? 우리의 눈이 너희를 지켜본다. 화물 확보. 움직이자. 적을 내가 지원한다. 똑바로 서. 널 쓰러지게 두지 않아. 화물이 움직여야. 이거 받아. 내가 엄호하게. 몰아붙여.
미사실로 고정.
넌 강해졌다. 돌격해. 널 회복시켰다. 여기까지다. 뒤쪽으로 열쇠다. 조심해. 지원 고맙군. 어서 화물을 움직여. 모든 건 고치기 내가 도와줄게. 날 믿어. 이제 괜찮을 거네. 보고 있으니 엄살 부리지 마.
남은 시간 60초.
비키시지. 설계의 시간이다. 나라도 봐주는 건 아니겠지, 젊은이.
A 거점을 수비하십시오.
2차
계속 싸워. 내가 지원. 편히 쉬어. 인생의 영광. 계속 싸워. 공격받고 있다. 놈들이 밀어붙이게 뒀어. 지키시지. 널 어머하게. 넌 강해졌다. 돌격해. 널 회복시켰다. 자, 가보자고. 다음번엔 공평히 공격해보자. 어디? 타오른다. 내 의지에 굴복하라. 비트의 몸을 맡겨라. 화물을 처리해. 내가 구원. 만나서 반갑고. 훨씬 나아. 그거 바빠 보이는 필요했다. 난 여기 있다. 계속 깜짝이야. 이긴 거랑 마찬가지야. 조금만 버티자.
새로운 날에 새로운 전장이 기다리고 의사 선생님 말 잘 들으라고. 불사장치 주위에 있어. 불사장치로 들어와. 내구의 성과. 새 사람이 된 기분이 넌 완전히 치유됐어.
동시 처치.
아주 발팔해졌네. 전장에서 부르는 게 적성에 안 맞을 수도 있지. 약간만 치유해도 오래 간다고. 안색이 좋지 않은데.